So again, my name is Dr. Rick Mathis. We're here at the Atlanta Black Expo.
Indeed.
And I'm here with my partner, my compadre, Lex Kelly.
Yeah, let's go.
So we can talk about AI, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to start with the first question with you, man.
Right.
How are you using AI? What AI tools is Lex Kelly using?
Man, it depends on the day or the week or the workflow or what I got going on. So I use, of course, I use the flagships. I use the Gemini. I use the Chat GPT. I use the Perplexities. I use Llama. And I use them all depending on what I'm researching and exactly what I'm doing. So I'll use ChatGPT more for conversation. Okay. So whenever I have ideas that I'm looking to get out of my head and to put in immediate workflow, I'll use 4.0 on the ChatGPT. I'll play around with the different models to see which one gives me the best output. And then I use Gemini for like my day-to-day homie. Like my Gemini is like, I ask him anything. That's the homie. Like he give me just like all the little, I wonder what's, I wonder how that is made or wonder how they did that. And so I use the ChatGPT, the Gemini, I use the Perplexity for deep research when I'm really getting into research papers and trying to find things out that I need data and analytics for. On the graphic design end, there's a lot of AI products that's already built into my Adobe products. I'm a big Adobe product user. So they have the Fireflies on that. I use voice to text all day, every day.
You use, what's the name of that one?
The one that's within Photoshop, that's Firefly.
Okay.
But then you have Fireflies that do voice to text. And I use that a lot just to brainstorm.
So voice to text. So
yeah.
You're using it, I guess, just to communicate and tell a story.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to write it.
Yes. I mean, AI is more about bringing the 2 points of efficiency closer together. So initially, if I had an idea in my head, I would have to write it down. And then as I'm writing it down, I'm writing slower than I can actually think.
So you're losing some of that data. You're losing some of that information.
Right, because your brain works in real time.
Then you get a chance to collect a lot of that.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, it organizes it for me right off rip. So I'll give you a real quick one, like with some of our panelists today. When I did the pre-interview, I just recorded us on the phone having a conversation around what we're going to be talking about. And then when I recorded that with Fireflies, it gave me a breakdown and a summary of everything that we spoke about. I threw that in the Notebook LM. I created a Q&A. I put that Q&A into a Google Docs. Send it to everybody, including yourself, so everybody knows the talking points. And then after that, I also created a podcast to send to the people that we're interviewing so they can listen to what we're going to be potentially talking about here on stage. And I did this all within about 15 minutes.
Wow, that's good. So I'm telling you, man, so how do, and I feel like I'm interviewing you. I think you should be interviewing me. But how do you feel like in the next couple of years, AI is going to change or revolutionize the way we do business? Because, you have all of these entrepreneurs here, right?
Right.
And if you can implement AI and become more efficient to get the job done more efficiently, I think that's amazing. So how do you see it? One, we're implementing it in our workflow. And two, it's amplifying our intelligence and amplifying us as a business.
As a business. Okay, so how I see it affect is it's going to start weeding out the individuals who have not taken the time to become an expert in the business that they're selling.
Okay, so you're going to be able to tell the real from the fake, in other words.
Because just like you said.
Now, how is that? Now, so break that down for me.
Because AI amplifies your intelligence. It doesn't give you intelligence.
Okay.
Once you put AI into your hands of curating your manifestation, then what happens is you're no longer the curator of your manifestation.
Okay.
So now you can't break it down. You can't troubleshoot it. You can't. We had a conversation with Kaz. We talked about like the flow of funds coming from the federal down to the local space and understanding how the system works. Well, it's the same thing with your business. If you're not understanding your business, if you're not understanding your demo, if you're not understanding how you need to interact with your clientele, then you don't know how to use AI in order to get you closer to what you need faster. You see what I mean? So if you're in business and you're looking at what does it look like from your customers coming into your business and how your numbers in your business fluctuating over the last 6 months to a year? Well, you have data analytics.
Yeah.
Now you ain't got to be scared of data. You can look at it. You can have GPTs.
Yeah. So, because I know I'm using my data. I'm like, okay, 90-some% of these people that watch this video were non-followers.
Right.
Which is great. So that means now I'm gaining those non-followers and I'm turning them into followers.
Right.
Or either I can look at some other data that says, okay, 36% of these people who watched this video were in Atlanta.
Okay.
27% were in New York. So I know these are my two primary markets that I need to focus on.
Right. And then you get into the small details of it. The beautiful thing about AI is it allows you to get into the details in the fabric. It allows you, there's a thing that I used to say, I still say it with my clients. I say, make sure you inquire, and you always want to go 5 whys deep.
Okay, so, explain that. What is 5 whys deep?
So 5 whys deep is if somebody's telling you, giving you some information, you should say why.
Oh, 5 whys, like 5 the letter why.
The question why.
So now give me an example of that, because I like actual workflows that we can implement.
All right,
so this is 5 whys deep.
5 whys deep. So okay. You say, ask me the question about how I'm implementing AI, and every time I give you an answer, say why.
Okay. So how are you implementing AI?
I'm implementing AI into my workflow so that way I can make my business more efficient.
Why?
Because I want my business to scale, and I want to be able to project and see where my business could potentially be in the next year or two.
Why?
Because I want to build generational wealth, and I want to have a sustainable, scalable business that I can see and then hand down to the generation after me.
Why?
Because my kids deserve to have a future that's stacked on top of what they daddy built. So that way they're not starting ground level, they're starting where I'm at, and they continue to build a legacy for their children.
Why?
Because now that affects the Black community, and it affects how we grow as a whole community and how we keep wealth within our community, because now we're building sustainable Black businesses that were farmed from Black families within the Black community.
And this is the last why, the 5th why.
Oh, this is the last why. And that's important because now what that does is it gives us strength in terms of the economic level, in terms of the federal level and the state level. Now, when we have families and businesses that are in the community and growing the community, and we understand our needs, we can now advocate for ourselves in different levels of government to make sure that we're properly represented.
Wow. Okay. So 5 whys deep. That's dope. And I think I'm going to use 3. I'm kind of short. You know what I'm saying? Because I like 5 is a lot now. Yeah. That's when you like really being thorough. Right. But I think for me, I think 3 would be good.
Okay.
But
it's infinitive with AI.
Exactly.
Like with AI, you can say the AI will tell you, say, hey AI, how do I create a business plan, or create me a business plan for this, and then it gives you the business plan. But there's stuff in there that you don't understand.
So you're saying ask these whys to AI.
To AI. So instead of don't let AI lead you to a place where you get lost. Let it lead you to a place where you get found.
Got it.
You got to ask it enough why so that way it meets you where you're at.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Dope. So let's talk and close with AI agents.
Yeah.
Because we're understanding AI agents. So in a minute, AI agents will actually be able to, you can program an AI agent to carry out whatever duty or things that you needed to do. Mm-hmm. So how would you define an AI agent?
So an AI agent is it is a form of a GPT, or a generative model that can predict what it is that you need done next. And what it does is it also keeps information. So once it gains information, it keeps that information and stacks on top of it, so that way it has more data that can analyze and give the best predictive outcome. So agents are beautiful because now you can put an agent in every sector of your life that you need help in. So just imagine duplicating yourself about 5 to 6 times, and each part of yourself is an expert in different areas that you need help in. So finance. Okay. Hey, I need an agent that's going to make sure that my finances are in order, making sure that I'm not paying more than one subscription every month, or am I even utilize subscription every month? So I'm going to build an agent that strictly focuses on my finances. And not only on top of that, it's going to be able to learn what I'm doing and then give best practices in the future. And then what it'll do it for me if I give it permission.
Yeah. So it learns. So the thing about AI is it learns. Is that AI, or is it AI agents, or is just AI as a whole learns your behavior?
Well, AI agents is more source driven. So like AI itself is a representation of artificial intelligence and predictive modeling, the whole 9, but it could be sourced from the whole internet. So you have AI that's sourced from the whole internet. Then you have AIs that are source driven, meaning it's only going to examine the information that you give it.
So if you give it MP3 or MP4, or if you give it a document, then it's only going to pull from that source.
Examples of that would be Notebook LM, where it's source driven. You can build your own local GPTs on your local computer, to where it's not connected to the internet, if you have the hardware and you have the knowledge to be able to do that. ChatGPT, what you paid for it, they give you a great structure, a bone structure for building your own ChatGPT agent on your own local computer that's not connected to the internet. So now you can have it help you on your local computer go through your stuff.
So you don't even need the internet. This is just going through the documents that you have on your computer.
Right, but of course you need to have the right hardware. But if you don't have the right hardware and you're careful with your information, you can go into Google AI Studio, and you can actually have it in Google AI Studio, which is free. For people who have, it's free. Google AI Studio is free, and you can go in there and play with all the toys that you want. And they have a feature in Google AI Studio, which I use, where I just talk to it and tell it what to do with my computer. It moves through my computer for me.
And what feature is that, or what platform is that?
That's on Google AI Studio.
No, but what, so you have Google AI Studio, but then you have apps and platforms.
Oh, so the app, so I think it's AI Studio Live.
Okay, AI Studio Live. So y'all got that AI Studio Live. You want to use that?
Yeah.
So
I believe, but once you go into the AI, it's right there plastered up front, because they want everybody to use it, because they're collecting data.
And that's the whole thing. Right now, data is the new oil. It's the new gold.
Absolutely.
So that's the whole thing with this. So just kind of collecting that data.
So I'm going to ask you, why you were asking me all these questions?
Well, we're running out of time, man.
Now we're running out of time. Now we got to go.
But nah, go ahead.
How you incorporating AI into your, so we have a thing that we have the future storytelling that we're doing together.
Exactly.
Integrating AI into media. Being that you, Dr. Rick Mathis, producer, director, how are you integrating AI into your workflow in that space?
Man, so really, like, of course, I'm using the chat GPTs, but I'm using so much. Like, I'm using Opus. So I use a lot of things for filmmaking. So I'm using Opus.
Okay.
Like, Opus is an AI tool where we're creating this long form video. So if we want to break it up into 30-second, 60-second increments, Opus will do that for us, and then it'll put the captions there as well.
It does pretty good on cuts.
Man, but the thing is, the cuts are cool, but if you want to trim it or, adjust it, so, maybe you say, well, I have 30 seconds, but I like what I said 10 seconds prior to this, so I can now pull that trim out longer and then and include that part in the video.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm using.
Will it learn your editing style over time?
It does learn your editing style, and it learns because all AI, does that. It learns your editing style. It learns your different things.
Right.
So, so I love that. Another thing that I use, because audio is very important.
Yes.
That we have this clean, crisp audio. So there are AI tools that I use for that, to clean up audio. You know what I'm saying? So I'm using it in pre-production, production, post-production, distribution, so we'll definitely be hosting more podcasts like this.
Absolutely.
So that we can share the different platforms, the different apps that we're using in AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My brother.
Definitely. Hey, appreciate you. So how can people, follow you and get in contact with you?
Man, Lex Kelly Live everywhere. You can Google me, Lex Kelly Live, Facebook, Lex Kelly Live, Instagram. Just Lex Kelly Live. But, most of the time, just tell people I'm your assistant, so that way they actually care to know where I'm at.
Okay. You funny guy, Lex. But follow me at Rick Mathis. That's Rick without the K. RIC Mathis. That's on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the different platforms. And we got this dope docu-series that's coming out.
Yeah.
It's based on an experience that I recently had called heartbeatdocuseries.com. That's heartbeatdocuseries.com.
That's it. All right, bro.
All right, my brothers. Cool. Thank you.